Good morning. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Riya Dawdi,
Yes, sir.
you're from Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Riya Dabi. I was born in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh, but I have been living most of my life in New Delhi. And I have done my BA in Political Science from Delhi University. And apart from that, I am a person who considers myself as hardworking, who likes to follow my goals and complete them on time. And I also like to do painting, so I also consider myself as a creative person.
What goals did you set for yourself?
So the goals for the daily life, for example, if we have to finish any task on time, what we have to study, what we have to do, how. So for example, while I was preparing for the civil services exam, so the daily dose of the whatever topics I had to cover in a day, how much time I had to allocate for my exercise, how much time I had to allocate for my rest, so and so on.
What is the difference between Delhi and New Delhi?
Delhi is considered as the national capital of the country, and New Delhi is considered as one of the constituencies or one of the districts of the city of Delhi. And it is also called as New Delhi because the part of Delhi which is called New Delhi, it is the administrative center of Delhi, which contains buildings such as the Parliament House, Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Supreme Court. So that is why there is a difference in the terminology because of that.
Is there a difference in administration?
No.
Delhi and New Delhi?
No, sir, there is no difference in administration. The Delhi government looks after the entire city of Delhi.
What is Delhi is known to have a three-tier administrative setup. Can you tell us the three tiers?
So I believe the three tiers would be first or the bottom level would be the district administration or the municipal level of Delhi. Second would be the elected government of Delhi, and third would be the central government because Delhi is a union territory.
Do you think Delhi deserves to be a full state?
So I believe that if Delhi is granted full statehood, then there can be certain advantages to that. For example, the Delhi government will be able to legislate on subjects such as land, public order and police, and the power tussle or the ambiguities in the relationship between the lieutenant governor and the Delhi government can be also resolved. And the Delhi government will also get more powers to look after bodies such as the MCD and the DDA. So I believe that granting Delhi full statehood can have certain advantages.
So why is Delhi not being granted full statehood?
So Delhi has not been granted full statehood because there have been some concerns. Because Delhi is a union territory, and the union government also has its jurisdiction here. It also works in Delhi since the Parliament, the Supreme Court, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, all these buildings are here. And there's also a sense of security which is required for Delhi becoming a union territory because these buildings and various embassies are also located here. So it is believed that if the union government looks after Delhi as a union territory, then there can be more law and order situation. It can be handled properly. There can be more sense of security as well.
Do you know something about the new IT rules?
The new IT rules, sir. Yes, sir. The IT rules 2000 have been amended, and the guidelines for the digital intermediaries and the digital media ethics code have been introduced.
Only for the digital media, or for some other media also?
Sir, for the social media intermediaries as well as for the over-the-top or the OTT platforms.
Who are the intermediaries and why are they called intermediaries?
Sir, I'm really sorry, sir. My mask, I don't know, it is falling down. Sir, the social media intermediaries are those platforms which showcase the information from other websites or other platforms on their own platform. For example, Google, Facebook, Twitter, and so on.
What is the core of the dispute between the government and Twitter?
Sir, the main dispute between them is that the government had issued these guidelines, and Twitter had to it had to also
Comply with them.
it had to give its monthly compliance report to the government. It also had to appoint compliance and a grievance redressal officer. So the interim officer was only appointed, and now he has also been removed. So because of these issues, there was a conflict.
What is the dispute regarding content?
Sir, the government feels that certain offensive content is sometimes posted on Twitter by the users, and Twitter sometimes is not able to look after such contents and put them down so that social media can be regulated. And because of this, fake news is also generated, and certain unfortunate events also happen.